8th episode of the CamerataCast. My name is Andres Marquez, and I am joined today by 2 Hour Shower, local band of, would you call it like alt rock, emo, punk? I'm not good with genres. This is going to be something that happens in
You-
almost every episode.
yeah,
I'm not good with genres.
Call it
Um,
wrestler rock. I don't
comedy
know.
rock,
Wrestler rock.
You're right.
theatrical alt noise, post punk jazziness.
Yeah.
That works. That works for
Ironic
me.
EDM.
Yeah, man.
We gotta throw in some Mongolian throat singing.
There are no limits here.
I downloaded a Mongolian throat singing sample just because someone told me to make something with it. So very serendipitous. Yeah, we should do that.
Gotta throw that in, man.
You throw it in there.
I can't wait to hear that. Why don't y'all introduce yourselves formally?
Okay,
Let's start with any one of y'all.
I can go first. So I'm Elijah. What's up? I'm in 2 Hour Shower. Original member. I write lyrics along with Seb, and I sing the songs.
Cool. How about you, Sebastian?
Yeah, I'm Sebastian, also original member of 2 Hour Shower. What else? Play guitar, write songs with Elijah. Sometimes I sing. I don't think on this album I sing, but like in the live shows, I'll try to sing and scream and whatnot.
Nice. And Mars, we are acquainted.
We are.
Introduce yourself.
I'm Mars. I am a non-original member of 2 Hour Shower. Member as of like late 2019 or something like that. But yeah, I mean, I play bass and yeah, I mean, me and Andreas had some past experiences in a band known as the Wig Room with
Yeah.
Oliver Jenkins. Shout out Oliver Jenkins.
Shout out to Oliver.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shout out Reese Guitars.
Yes.
Yeah.
Master luthier.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I miss Oliver. Have
Yeah,
you seen
dude.
him in a while, Mars?
Not in quite a bit. I mean, I've been like in contact with him a bit. I was thinking about maybe getting in touch with him about some like guitar repair or some like mods or something like that. But I haven't seen him in a while. Hoping I can jam with him once COVID just kind of calms down and all that.
Oh, same man. I miss jamming with him.
Yeah, man. We should all get together, have a big ass just like reunion, just go full force.
Hell
See what
yeah.
comes of it.
And finally, James. How about you, James?
Yes. Hello. My name is James Fall. I am an original member of 2 Hour Shower. I play the drums, and I produce some of the music. And
Can you say that
that's
again?
me. Oh yeah, sorry. The whole thing.
I mean, just after James Fall. Sorry, you kind of
Yeah.
cut out. I can
Oh,
cut this
okay.
part out.
Sure. I'm James Fall. I'm an original member of 2 Hour Shower, and I play the drums and I produce some of the music as well.
Nice. All right. So yeah, just that's pretty cool. For anybody who hasn't heard yet, 2 Hour Shower released their latest single, "Halloween in Manhattan." Was that actually a
Yeah.
Halloween release? I don't recall exactly.
No, it
Nah.
was. I mean, yeah, it was called. I
Nah.
mean, it's the subject matter, but the release date was kind of very spontaneous.
I get you. Yeah, it's a really cool like. How would you describe it? It's got kind of like songs. It's got kind of like sounds of emo. It's got sounds of like pop punk. It kind of reminds me of a more straightforward Bomb the Music Industry.
Oh, nice.
Mm.
Which is
yeah.
why it's
Yeah.
so hard to categorize for me. But anyways, yeah, it's brilliant. It's a brilliant single. I'm gonna be listening to more of y'all's stuff soon. You also have, is it an EP or an album that's also on Spotify?
We have a full album on Spotify, and we also have 2 EPs prior to that, out on like SoundCloud and Bandcamp and like the places that aren't Spotify.
Nice. Yeah. So if y'all don't mind me asking, how did y'all first get together? When was the beginning of the 2 Hour Shower?
Oh yes.
Sorry.
Well-
Well, we were all in like high school theater together. like me, James, and Elijah. Mars went to Notre Dame. Us three were from LaSalle, and then we were all in like theater together and stuff like that. And then what was it, around like March or something of like 2017, there was this like little talent show kind of thing going on in the high school gym, like with the freaking worst acoustics possible. And like it was us three and our like piano friend Alex, who formed the first inception of 2 Hour Shower. James was playing like acoustic guitar. I was on ukulele, and like we were singing this really like, I don't know, how would you guys describe that song? Like a really kind of like kind of sad
Sappy.
almost kind of song. Yeah,
Yeah.
sappy. Yeah. Last, who's that song? Last Leaf by? Who's it?
Okay, go.
Yeah, okay, go.
Oh my gosh.
Traditional kind of like sappy kind of thing.
Yeah, we had like a piece of toast projected on top of the screen behind us. That was cool.
People are like, what the hell?
I shout out Okay Go. They're a pretty good band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amen.
I haven't heard OK Go in years. That reminds me of my fucking high school years.
And we were throwing it back, man.
Yeah.
I think like we had our first like gig that was like outside of school just because like out of necessity or like right like because like there was a band that was supposed to open for this other band we know like Fears of Abandonment, who also released an album recently. It's very
Yeah.
good.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Shout out to Fears of Abandonment.
Like Appel du Void, du Vide, or like Call of the Void.
Yes.
But yeah, this band like Lagunatics, they just bailed. So we had to get our scrappy ragtag set together just in time for this show, and we did it.
It was a pretty baller set list though. We had
Yeah.
we had our first song, Astroglide. First time we played that. We did Brain Stew by Green Day, and like
nice.
James added
With
some
the
cowbell
cowbell?
into that.
Oh
I think
yeah.
Elijah. I
Oh,
forget.
Elijah
who
was on the cowbell.
Yeah, Elijah was on the cowbell. We had this one song at the end called Snipa, which is like a Swedish word. We don't even remember like what it sounded like though. But like, what was it? I had a really bad fever like right before. Like I think I had like 100-something-degree fever. So like,
Really?
I was like the week like leading up to it, I was like passed out. I was like
Shit.
so sick because I had the suds big time. But then,
I don't think I knew that. Wow.
yeah, dude, it was
Get real
awful.
soon.
Damn.
I got sickies, and then but I guess like I can't like I don't know, the NyQuil or the Dayquil or whatever just like kicked in right before the freaking show.
That's awesome. What are you guys' fondest memories of playing live?
Ooh.
I feel like every show has been like distinct.
I remember kicking the zebra at the Federal Underground.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
I guess their like this gig, this like Sound the Groove, right? Was like the promoter.
Yeah.
And I guess their mascot was just this like inflatable zebra, and I like kicked it off the stage, and they were like, "Don't do that."
Yeah, they specifically said like don't move the zebras. Like
They were inflatable. They weren't like just like locked down into the ground. Like they were just some inflatable shit that you could move like an inch by just being near it. So
I was just like messing with it, and I didn't know we couldn't like touch them, but oh well. And before that show, I was also very sick.
Oh.
Yeah.
wow.
oh yeah, you
I
had
had like no voice like the day before, and I was just like,
Oh wow.
for like 3 days before, I just tried to like not speak at all, just so I could like sing a bunch.
Damn, vow of silence.
Yeah, I think it worked though, just barely.
Yeah, we did well. That was
Yeah.
the last thing we did like before COVID. We did that. That was a New Year's show.
in
Yeah.
Long Beach.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we all dressed up in costumes. Like
Oh,
That was
lovely.
fun.
I was
And-
in a suit with Santa print on it.
Yeah, I was in
Yeah, I
like,
had this cool Spider-Man costume.
and then Elijah was like, what were you, like a baseball?
Yeah, I
player?
put on my baseball uniform, my old baseball uniform.
And then I was like, I
there.
wore James's old Boy Scout uniform shirt, or no, it was a Cub Scout one that like fit me
Yeah.
because I'm a short dude, so the proportions were just right. And like earlier in like mid 2019, before that, we were on like a little mini tour up the West Coast with some of our other buddy bands.
Oh yeah.
hell yeah.
And that was pretty fun. I think. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't play in any of those, but I was on that tour, and those were definitely some memorable shows. I think. I mean, every show is kind of cool
Yeah.
in its own way that we do, because it's always a fun time regardless.
Yeah, I think that was my favorite memory with 2 Hour Shower for sure, is that tour.
Yeah, tour was fun. San Francisco was like a good show because like I go to school up in the Bay, so I had some friends roll in.
Yeah.
And like what was it? The San Francisco show we had Mars's buddy Mobar Hayes like open up.
Oh, that was
This like
crazy.
this
Shout out
crazy
Hyde
like
FM.
this. Yeah, shout out Mobar Hayes and Hyde FM. But Mobar Hayes like he was awesome. He was like rapping in Russian and he had all these like lights and stuff going on, these really cool like psychedelic kind of images on these like on the background and stuff like that. And he was like moshing in your face.
That was cool.
And like
Yeah.
he would end every song saying like Stoika, Spasiba. And my uncle from the desert, he like came in to see the show and he's like, yeah, that Russian guy was really good. What was his name? Like, I really liked that Russian guy. He was really good.
He's wearing a ski mask too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ski
And
mask.
then like in between sets, he was super sweet. He was just a really chill dude. And then like while he was
Yeah.
performing, he just gets in this zone and he like pulls people into the mosh pit. It's great.
Oh,
Shout
hell
out
yeah.
Mobar Hayes.
That was awesome.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Do you know if he still makes music? Like
Oh, yeah.
still like
Oh, definitely.
sick.
He runs a little radio station up with his friends up in San Francisco. It's like they're slowly growing, but they do like DJ sets and they put out merch, put out zines, and they release like their own music. So it's pretty cool. I would check out
Yeah.
again. Shout out Hyde FM. I would check them out.
Right.
Right.
We got Puglia on Spotify.
Yeah.
Album.
Booyah.
Oh hell yeah.
You'll have to send me that.
Booyah. I think like a specific favorite show from that tour would be like the Oakland Secret one. That full set is on
yeah.
YouTube. Shout out 2 Hour Shower.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Adam Palmer for filming that.
Cool.
Classic
There
show.
we are.
Yeah, I heard a door.
Sorry, that was me.
So
we
cool.
have this like gremlin looking dude who's like a what would you call like Clayton, like in relation to like our
He's like a little elf kind of guy.
he's very short, but
He's
he
like
has
our hype man.
yeah, he has like the height
Yeah.
of a 12-year-old, but like he looks like he's 29.
My gosh.
Yeah, and
He like put on this Mickey Mouse hat. Full on like mask from like Disneyland or something like
Oh my
that.
God, yeah.
right, one of the Mickeys would like have it if you went to Disneyland, and he
That's
was
like
Yeah.
just like he monologues and talks to the crowd.
Yeah, like within the 2 Hour Shower universe, he's kind of like our pretend manager, CEO of 2 Hour Shower, and we always have him do like an intro monologue when we play, and it's nonsense. It's amazing.
that is absolutely psychotic. I love it.
Yeah.
If you guys don't mind me asking, just going back towards shows, I did want to ask, do y'all have any favorite like local venues? Because I do want to shout out some of those some of the
Oh,
music
definitely.
venues.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Shout out
yeah, you go first, James.
Shout out to Meow Meows in Pasadena.
Oh,
That's
hell
kind of
yeah.
our home base,
Yes, sir.
I think. We've
Colorado Boulevard.
Oh yeah. It's this little 80s themed thrift shop. And they have a stage in the back of it. And we've played there a bunch just because it's kind of the closest venue to us, but
Mhm.
the owner's really cool. Shout out Veronica at Meow Meows. And it's a great
She also
place.
makes like pins and whatnot for bands.
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
had pins made by her.
It's probably
I
like a
got a mug.
500 square feet room, to be honest.
It's
right?
It's really small, but like that just makes the performance like a whole lot more intimate. I've
Yeah.
gotten to play a show
Makes it
there.
more
You
sweaty.
can fill it up super easily, and it feels like a packed house, no matter how many people are actually there,
Yeah.
which is cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
because
cool.
of the clothing racks that they don't move.
Yeah, dude.
I've only gotten to play one show there in the past, but it was like a hell of a show. It was so
Oh, yeah.
fucking like everybody was just
Nice.
like packed towards the front. Everything was like super loud, but it wasn't like the acoustics were way better than what you'd expect for like a thrift shop.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Shout out also to the smell first and
Oh, yes.
foremost. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that was the first, like, when I started going to shows in high school when I was like 15 or 16. That was kind of the first venue that really got me hooked on local live music, and the amount of bands I've discovered from there is just kind of like insane. And the amount of bands that I've seen, like the Regrets before they got all famous and shit. I saw them there. Slow Hollows.
Wow.
I saw Tyler the Creator there once, and it's like it's weird. It seems like
Whoa.
a hub
Oh,
for like a
wow.
lot of people
Damn.
who like kind of end up becoming pretty successful. So it's a cool place. I would highly
Yeah.
recommend after COVID, hoping it's still open. It should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, smell has been going through. Like there have been like 2 times at least where I've seen like, oh, the smell is gonna close. They're trying to knock it down, trying to put some
Yeah,
like high rise or something. And it's like
they've like
it's sort of-
they've defended themselves like a couple times successfully, and I think they're still like gonna be open as far as I know. But
Oh,
I
yeah.
hope so.
fingers crossed.
They have like a 21 and up venue, like literally right next to it. I think 5-star.
Oh
bar.
yeah,
yeah.
you can always hear
Yeah.
the music coming from there when you're like in the alleyway out there.
Yeah, it's like nonstop.
I was at a what is it, Slime Girls show, The Smell, and
Ooh.
it had been my first time there, and I heard like music like between bands, and I looked through. There was like this little tiny hole in the wall. And you look through, and I saw like 2 naked women just kind of like dancing around. I was like, oh, that's awesome.
Shit, I've never looked through. I've seen like the little like barred off window there that nobody's in, but it's like it seems like kind of a sus place, but it's always popping off in there.
Damn. Gotta go there.
Yeah, someday.
No, I really want to go. But
I
yeah, it
wanna-
would be a dream.
think
to play
another
at the
like
Smell.
venue.
Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think another like cool venue like to shout out is Bridgetown in La Puente.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
They
Yeah, they have
Yeah,
a funny Twitter
'cause,
account
like-
too. I think
yeah.
I don't even know if it has relations
Nice.
with the people running the actual like venue, but or
Oh,
like
yeah,
who-
it's
who
like
the- who the
community
admin
run.
is, but it's just so fucking
Yeah,
bizarre.
it's very community run.
But yeah,
And like I think they have one of our props from like one of the last times we played there. We had this like cool like cardboard cutout sphinx.
Oh yeah.
That like people just like freaking like scribbled all over it and like kind of like messed it up and stuff. So I guess it's a permanent prop there now.
Yeah, the Sphinxes are a whole thing.
Yeah. And I think like at Bridgetown also Elijah like almost did like a little table, ladders, and chairs kind of match. Like almost fell off the ladder onto
yeah.
James's drum
Where did that
set
ladder come from?
I don't
It
know.
was in the back room.
in
Oh,
the
we
back.
just-
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all
Yeah.
the other random shit.
They also got cool literature and
Oh,
stuff. there.
definitely.
Yeah. How to shoplift? That was my favorite pamphlet.
How to shoplift?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Yeah, shout out to
Little-
Bridgetown. Definitely
Shout
a
out.
cool little space.
Shout out shoplifting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I think it was Leftover Crack had a show there. Like a couple
Oh
weeks-
no way!
Yeah. With Jesse Michaels from Op Ivy.
I saw a video of it. It looks so cool.
Oh, that's fucking sick. I've been on a huge like leftist punk binge, and Leftover Crack has been one of my
Right.
favorite
Oh, yeah.
fucking bands.
Oh my
Ooh,
god.
yeah.
I literally thought you meant actual leftover crack. Like you found it outside of the venue.
I would believe that too.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Found some Leftover Crack outside Bridgetown. It's a no drug venue, so
Yeah.
But like I think the 2 times we played there have been some like some police activity though, but
True.
we still try to keep our concert going, you know?
Oh yeah. Fight the power.
As always,
it's bored.
Exactly.
it's our motto.
2 hour shower, fight the power.
Exactly.
Yes.
Hey,
Yeah, you got it.
Indeed.
You're practically in the band.
Another cool venue is I mean this is a pretty popular one. Seb showed it to me though. Gilman in Berkeley. That was
Oh
great.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh
Gilman
saw
was
yeah.
great.
I saw a band there that I listen to like all the time now. Everyone is Dirty. They're like a
Oh yeah,
I don't know how to describe them, but
they
like
got the distorted violin.
yeah,
Oh
Ooh,
shit.
they have violin and it's like punk music.
Wow.
A lot of like
violin
ballads
funk
too.
music.
Yeah, Gilman's kind of like the smell of the Bay Area, kind of in a way, because it's like a pretty big one.
Yeah,
And like,
pretty
because
much.
I remember Green Day started out there, and a bunch of other bands, like pretty well-known bands, have played
Yeah.
there.
Oh, nice.
Shout out to the dirty Gilman dance.
I want to give a shout out to FTG. I mean, I already talk so much praise
Oh,
about
yeah.
these folks, but they have one of the best venues that I've ever gotten to see and play at. It's this really cool little warehouse down in Santa Ana, and they've got like a recording studio. They've got space for like filming on the stage. It's just so awesome. Shout outs to FTG, Pedro Mancias, who runs the joint. Uh, those guys are fucking amazing.
Wow.
That sounds really
Ooh.
cool.
Yeah, I remember I reached out to them to book a show, and like they were really down too, but I think it was just like a scheduling kind of thing. But like definitely want to check that
Yeah.
place
Oh,
out
Yeah, we
Sounds
should.
cool.
to go into the OC.
Yeah, like before COVID, I remember like they were having shows left and right. I remember like 5 or 6 shows
Yeah.
happening at that joint like every week. It was insane.
Wow.
Have you guys been to
Oh,
the Glass House? Oh, sorry.
no,
Ooh,
no, go on, go on.
Glass House is cool.
I haven't.
That
The Glass
Pomona.
House was pretty cool. I don't know if this is like a DI. I guess it's like DIY, but they have like bigger bands play there. Joyce Manor played there um, in January. Like I think that was one of their last shows. It's in Pomona by the drive-in, like Tiki Village drive-in.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. I saw Together Pangea there. It was pretty cool.
Ooh,
Oh, dope.
Oh, nice.
you know, I like
Glass
that
House
band a
is
lot.
awesome. There's another venue that used to be there. Did you guys ever go to PBW, Pizza Beer Wings?
I've heard of that place, but I've never
No.
been there.
Yeah, same.
Unfortunately, I think COVID shut it down permanently. But
Uh,
it was this really cool little pizza joint, and then off to the side they had this it's just this big hall where they had a stage at the back of it. It was actually really fun to play, and the acoustics were pretty dope there as well. I played there a couple times in like these post-hardcore band I used to be in.
Mm.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
PBW, rest in peace.
there's
Damn.
so many cool venues that I hope
Mhm.
like make it through the pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope like Temple of Time. Like I never got to go, but that was in I think the Valley. Yeah,
The Valley.
Temple of Time. I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
What's that
Me
all about?
neither.
they have like a Zelda theme going on. Their logo is
Great.
the Triforce, and I think it's just like one big ass like little hall that they're like playing music in, and I see on their stories that they're like grilling tacos. Like come get some
Oh my
tacos.
god.
That's rad.
It's funny because like I'm the only one of us who like lives in the valley, but like I know of no DIY venues in the valley. I mean, there's some like there's house shows and stuff, but there's not really any very consistent DIY venues out here except for like
Yeah.
I think the Smell when it first opened was in like North Hollywood in like 1998, and then it moved to DTLA. But
Yeah, I mean, you guys. I'm not sure where everybody else lives, but I live in Whittier, which like compared to every other part of LA is pretty hodunk. It's like there isn't a single there is not a single like actual venue in this area. The one place where there is frequently live music, like pre-COVID of course, is this place called Steve's Barbecue, and you can't find anything but top 40 bands there. This
Yeah.
place is a sham.
Shoot, yeah, Bridgetown's probably the closest place
Yeah, I
over
think
there,
it's La
huh?
Puente, I
Oh.
believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I live in
I mean, Fuller.
Alhambra, so
What was that?
I live in Alhambra, so I mean,
Mm,
yeah, you can get to like the other venues like pretty easily. but in Alhambra itself, I haven't really heard of any
No,
local stuff. I don't even think anybody really has house shows over here.
no, not really. Yeah, Elijah and I live very close to each other, and I feel like there's a lot of like music schools, like for kids, but there's no venues.
Oh man, that's a shame.
Rip. Yeah.
Speaking of music school, are y'all like y'all in college?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we are.
Are
Yeah.
y'all
Yeah.
are y'all studying music?
Mars and I are studying music.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm a history major.
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah. History and like
Future
well,
teacher.
I have like a theater minor, so that kind of helps. Yeah, and then like education minor too. So like that kind of like the theater minor like helps with performance, and like the history helps with like songwriting, because just using like history books and
that's pretty
stuff
cool.
for like
I know.
lyrics.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm studying acting right now.
Nice.
In the East Coast. I go to NYU just to try and be that acting grind.
That's awesome.
See what happens with that.
Yeah.
Theater rock.
Theater core.
Exactly.
Theater core. Post Shakespeare.
That'd make a good song name, honestly.
Well, they do have like what is it, medieval core or like Elizabethan core?
What?
Like
What?
I've been showing James this stuff like on Reddit.
Oh
They have-
yeah, like the bardcore shit.
Yeah, they have
Oh
like,
yeah.
Oh my god.
Elizabethan renditions of like System of a Down.
Ooh.
Oh, I think I saw like Smells Like Teen Spirit, but in like classical
Oh,
Latin or
shit.
something like that.
Yeah, that would show up for a time on my YouTube recommendations. Like every day, I'd see something where it's like, "Oh, System of a Down," but played on a classical lute or something like that.
Yeah, we got to get into that. We got to make some of that.
Next
Yes.
I
genre.
want to do
to
some
hit.
post Shakespeare.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Do like a punk rendition of Twelfth Night. That'd be cool.
Be rad.
Oh my
Taming of
dude, I can be Sebastian already. Hell yeah.
Taming of the Booth. I'll remember that.
That's awesome. That's
Dude, that'd be a good like album
Yeah,
name. I
man.
feel.
what kind of music is Taming of the Booth? What kind of music is on that album?
Oh god.
I don't know, man. I mean,
feel
maybe
like
this, maybe this should be Taming of the Booth. Who knows? We haven't technically like named the album yet. Who knows?
Yeah.
I'm imagining
New
I'm imagining
contender.
some hardcore like stoner rock, but like everything is
Oh,
sung
yeah.
in Latin.
Yeah.
It's fucking rad. Yeah, so whoops, lost my train of thought. My bad.
Oh, no problem.
I also wanted to ask, kind of more, wouldn't say pertinent. It's definitely a question that I try and rally to like everybody on the podcast. How has the pandemic affected y'all's collective creative processes? Like, how have you? How are things different now? I mean, of course, there are obvious ways, but go on. If there is anything that's been more profound to y'all as of late because of this.
It's
Right.
I don't know. It's kind of like very. I mean, there's like obvious stuff like the fact that we can't play live shows anymore, which I think was a pretty big part of it, because a lot of the band is like performance, and the best way we can bring that out is in front of somebody. And we've done like live stream stuff,
Yeah.
which is cool, but it's not the same. But I think it was kind of positive in a way, because it kind of really let us know what our limits are, and like kind of we were like, okay, we have to focus on the actual music now, and like what's the best what are the best songs we can make to like record and release right now, so that like we're still offering something that's really cool that people will like, that'll kind of I guess compensate in a way for that. Because I think this album, I didn't play on the last album, but I think either way this album is definitely like a step forward. Like it's definitely
Oh
expands
yeah, definitely.
like genre wise, and like
Yeah.
we're all trying stuff that we haven't before. But I
Right.
think it's coming off really cool and like really honest. So I think it's gonna make a mark in some way, regardless of how people interpret it.
Yeah.
I'm happy to hear that.
Oh, for sure. Um, I guess I would say like outside of just this band, I feel like um I've switched a lot more to I've done a lot more remote like online collaborations than I have before, like since COVID started. Um, and that's allowed me, I feel like, to find something that I really enjoy doing, which is kind of like making instrumentals for um like, more contemporary sort of like pop vocalists and whatnot. And that's something I haven't really explored before, but you know, that avenue I've kind of found my way to that avenue um like because of having to stay at home.
Right. I get
That's
that.
interesting. I don't know.
Would you all feel that, I guess either individually or collectively, would y'all feel that you've been more or less quote unquote productive during COVID?
Mm.
I feel like more productive actually. Because I feel like this past or like most of this year we've all been like in the same area because usually like we're all kind of like scattered around like because of school and whatnot. But I think um just like being kind of like in the same LA area, like we've been able to rehearse a lot more
Oh yeah.
consistently, like a few times a week, and I think that's definitely helped. I feel like the approach has been a lot more like collective also in terms of like songwriting, like titling the songs, like different parts, just like things like that, instead of it like whereas before it was more like a bit scattered where like we're kind of taking songs where we were using like we're used to like playing live like a bunch of times and then recording it, but this time it's a lot more like new songs that we like really put together
Oh
during
yeah,
this
Oh,
definitely.
period.
gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Like having more flexibility of schedule.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
I'd say like this past couple months are like the most like compared to like other time periods, definitely like the most we've ever practiced like in a stretch of time. We would practice like once a week at least for like 3 hours
Ooh.
for a while. Um, and I'd say like I've written like a lot more in this time period as well. And I'm not sure if I wasn't even like conscious really of it. Um, but now that you asked the question, like I know like I've just been way more like engaged with like writing. Um, maybe it's just because I like have nothing else to do other than like
Yeah.
cool stuff. But it's definitely an outlet, which just helps me like process a lot more. And it's not to say like it's all like great writing or anything like that, because it's not. But I find like little pieces here and there that I'm like, wow, I really like this. And then I bring it to like you guys, and then we just work on it, and it somehow just comes out pretty well. Love
Yeah.
to tinker.
Yeah, and I
Definitely.
think what you were saying about having an outlet, especially right now, is very important. Like it can be easy to just, like get in a downward spiral and not do anything because we're stuck at home. But I think this has helped, like at least for me.
Yeah, and I feel like it's kind of like we've been productive. Like,
Yeah.
at least I've been productive in like an overall sense. Like sometimes it might not feel like it. Like if I take the span of like a week or two, I might look at what I've done and say, oh well, that's not that much. But in reality, like especially with working on this album, we've kind of done a lot. It's just spread out over a much wider period of time because there's not that much else to do. So I mean, because I feel like we're kind of all always writing or trying to make something in some way, and
Right.
it's
Yeah.
it's easier for us to see the direct product of that now. So even if it's not in like a condensed period of time, you'll see it over time, and either way, we're still developing towards the future, which is
Oh,
always
totally.
good.
Mm-hmm. And cheers to that. I feel personally that I've been mighty productive, just like learning new skills and then just applying myself to music and everything else that I try to do. But it's also definitely, or COVID has also definitely made me feel more conscious of my own productivity. It's made me conscious of, I guess, just like how I apply myself in everything regarding life. It's just made me feel like I want to, how do you say, I want to apply my skills and I want to apply my energy to things that are, more in line with my own passions and in line with my interests more than ever, honestly. And I've
Oh,
seen that with a
definitely.
lot of different artists, that I've gotten to work with or that I've gotten to meet. And I, I don't know, I like to see that as a silver lining, this sort of weird, awakening, I suppose.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
COVID
Yeah.
character development.
This is the COVID arc.
Oh, I totally agree with you about that. Yeah, I think I'm also more conscious about, how I'm spending my time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I feel like we've all found ways to fill it. Like I took like a gap semester from school following my like spring term, and hopefully I'll be starting at Cal Arts with James in the spring. But for like the time being, I'm kind of just like working and doing music. So I'm kind of now having to learn for the first time how to really schedule and manage my own time without a consistent thing to do all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that has helped me the most, just like trying to develop a routine. Like that's made me feel way more in control of what I do with my day than anything I've ever done before, just
Yeah.
making a routine.
Oh, for
Absolutely.
sure.
All right, so if y'all don't mind, we're gonna try and draw things to a close pretty soon. I just wanted to ask y'all, this last section of the podcast, we shout out any artists, creators in our local scenes or that we're aware of that that have been inspiring us as of late that we want to get some attention to.
Right.
So let's do that now. Let's start with Elijah.
Okay. This album, which I mentioned earlier, by Fears of Abandonment, which James also happens to be in. Um,
Yeah,
I've
I
been
played
listening.
bass on that album.
I've been listening
Nice.
to the song. Well, like a lot of the songs, I've just been playing on repeat. Um, I think that album's great. It's like very cohesive. There's like a solid theme. You just understand like what it's about, which I mean, it's like just conveys meaning pretty well, even if
Thank
the
you.
message is like simple. It's kind of just like has a sorrowful, like introspective, like theme, and yeah, I just want to shout that out. And Animal Collective, I've been listening to a lot. I don't think they need a shout out though, but do it anyway.
Nice. How about you, Mars?
Let's see. For me, I would have to say, I mean, of course, James' album, the Fears of Abandonment album.
All that I want is to connect with you, but you don't care, so this is bound to fall apart across the.
Very good one. Been playing a lot of that. For me personally, I'd say I've listened to a lot of like experimental rock and like noise rock recently, like a lot of like Black Midi, Sonic Youth.
Ooh.
There's this band from Russia called Glint Shake. They haven't released anything in a while, but they're pretty badass.
Yeah.
I'd highly recommend. Also, there's a local band called Lily with two eyes that's kind of like moving up the scene, and I'd say their debut album is supposed to be coming out this next year. It's pretty cool. One of the best live shows that I think I've ever seen. Yeah, and that's probably, at least like as of recent, what's kind of been inspiring me and making me more into the music that I make and all that.
Awesome. Lily with two eyes.
Yeah.
Gonna have to remember that. All right. How about James?
Sure thing. I think lately I've been inspired by some of our other contemporaries, mainly the bands Unicorns at Heart. and
Mm,
Norman Ventures.
Ooh.
Some of our friends from
yeah.
our scene, which is like, Pasadena, Monrovia kind of area. Um, and especially like Norman's been putting out a lot of music, and that's all been really cool to hear. Unicorns at Heart, I love all their stuff. Um, and I think they're doing some really cool things like coming up soon. So I want to shout out both of them.
All right.
Hell yeah. Also,
And
one more band I wanted to add quickly because I just remembered them. Funny enough, they're called Millie, Milly. So spelled normally, but kind of like grungy shoegaze. I think they're pretty fucking good local band. Also Pasadena area, sort of.
all right. Millie. How about Sebastian?
Yeah, I think for like kind of like contemporary artists like in LA, like what James was saying, like Unicorns at Heart, Norman Ventures, also like our other like buddy bands like Carburetum. I'm very sorry, Fears.
Dead End Job.
Yeah, Dead End Job. Like I also know some of the crews up north. Dead End Job. They're from Berkeley. They've been releasing some good music for the past like 2 years. I think they just released a new song pretty recently, but they've been a good help and good support and kind of like helping establish like a Bay LA sort of connection. Shoot, who else? Big Nasty, my one friend from up north, but he's from around here in Los Feliz. Um, but he's our rapper friend. He helps us out and he's a good
Cool.
support. So shout out to him. Shoot, who else? There's some like other bands from Berkeley. I'm trying to think of.
Schlotman?
Oh yeah.
Who was it? Oh, Schlotman. Yeah. Schlotman. They're from SF. Who else?
Sneaky Time.
Some of the other like some.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, duh, Sneaky Time. This other this other band I'm in from school. We just
The
came out
Pit.
with like a little EP. Yeah, the Pit
Pit.
EP. The Pit.
El-
El Pit, yeah. But they're like it's like me and some of the other like these other guys from like the school sports band. So they're pretty cool. And then who else? There's this one band I'm like trying to think of from oh, duh, this is who I was thinking of. I don't know if they're still playing now, but like when we were first kind of like starting off, House Fatigue.
Oh yeah.
Our buddies from
Yeah, they were really
like
cool.
Altadena. They're like yeah, they play like kind of similar kind of like post-punky kind of stuff like us. They were fun to play with, and so shout out to them for being a part of the scene.
Cool. That is a fuck ton of bands. No worries. It's just that's like the most artists we ever had shouted out. So I am massively
on.
appreciative of that. I do want to also give the good word about a couple folks that I particularly enjoy. I want to give a big old shout out to Fiunke. They're really cool, like indie math rock sort of jam bands that I've gotten to
Ooh.
see live a few times.
It's right up me and James's alley.
Right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, these guys are super cool. I've had them at a couple Camerata events, and first time I actually saw them was at this little coffee bar down in I think of La Mirada.
Oh,
But yeah, they blew the doors down. It was fucking amazing.
that's
So
awesome.
yeah,
Right on.
Fiunke. And I also want to
Nice.
give a shout out, not necessarily musician, but Lizzie Styles. She's this really cool illustrator, 2D illustrator, and yeah, she just makes amazing comics, and she makes really cool little pictures of awesome looking characters. And she's actually going to be illustrating the single art for my band's upcoming single, "Carl the Brain Cell" by Big Hat Logan.
Damn.
So
Ooh,
so yeah, I
very
want to give a
awesome.
big
Hell
old
yeah.
shout out to her. Thank you for all your help. We're really looking forward to what she's gonna put out for us. And yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah. Also,
Right.
shout out to Ethan Qua
Sweet.
for just all the stuff he does. He does like some art for us. He does some like, I guess, consulting, if you want to call it that. He'll just like, he has like some little songs he'll send us, or he's just a dude who's always helping us out in some way. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a great illustrator as well.
Oh,
absolutely.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's working on some comics.
He is.
Ethan Qua, awesome.
And
All right.
Also, shout out to Ivan Geralaga, one of my best buds since kindergarten. He also like helps us draw some
then
some
the
art and
person
some
who
posters and
did
whatnot.
the Halloween in Manhattan cover was Sarah Scholes. Shout out to her as well.
All right. All right.
Also, shout out to Evan and
keep
Cole from the freaking Spacement. They helped us
shout out.
record
Oh, yeah.
this album and these songs. Evan, the studio engineer, and
The
Cole,
vibe
the
engineer.
vibes manager.
Vibes manager. For a moment, I
Yeah.
thought actual like vibraphone, like he just like that's what he did.
We could get him to do that, dude. We'll see.
You'd be down.
All right, I'm gonna call it now before anybody else calls out their friends. But yeah, thank you all so much for coming on the show. It's been
Yeah, no
it's
problem.
been a pleasure, and it's absolutely amazing to get to talk to y'all. I really hope, just from the few videos I've seen of you guys live, I really hope to see y'all perform someday soon. I'm looking forward to that. Along with a whole bunch of other performances and shit. I'm looking forward to that more than anything.
Dude,
Yeah,
thank you so much, man.
absolutely.
Thank you
Thanks
for having us
us,
on.
dude. Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah.
Oh, no
You as
worries.
well.
All right, so oh yeah,
Check
yeah,
out the
Hollywood in
single.
Manhattan. It's all on all the streaming platforms.
Album coming soon.
Oh,
Indeed.
yes.
They also got another album
Yum.
on the Spotify and two more on Bandcamp and SoundCloud and all those non-Spotify places. All right, so hope y'all have a good evening, and thank you to everybody who's been listening. I hope everybody out there has a good day, noon, night, whenever you're listening.
Afternoon.
Have a good life.
Yeah, just have a wonderful existence.
Yeah, or don't.
If you
Don't
don't have
ruin
to,
it,
if you
dude.
don't want to. Adios.